Wuthering Heights, written by Emily Brontë and published in 1847, is one of the most powerful and controversial novels in English literature. Unlike traditional romance novels of its time, Wuthering Heights presents a dark, intense, and often unsettling exploration of love, obsession, revenge, and the destructive power of passion. Set on the bleak Yorkshire moors, the novel tells a complex, multi-generational story in which love does not bring peace or happiness, but instead fuels cruelty, suffering, and endless conflict. Through its unconventional structure and morally ambiguous characters, Emily Brontë challenges readers to confront the extremes of human emotion. The novel opens with Mr. Lockwood, a gentleman from the city, who rents Thrushcross Grange, an estate in rural Yorkshire. Seeking solitude, Lockwood visits his landlord, Heathcliff, who lives at the nearby manor called Wuthering Heights. From the beginning, Lockwood is unsettled by Heathcliff's harsh manners and the hostile atmosphere of the house. He encounters a strange household, including a rude young man and a distant young woman, all bound together by tension and bitterness. After a frightening night at Wuthering Heights, during which Lockwood experiences a disturbing dream involving a ghostly figure named Catherine Linton, he becomes curious about the history of the house and its inhabitants. The story then shifts to the voice of Nellie Dean, the housekeeper who has lived with both families for decades. Through Nellie's narration, the tragic history of Wuthering Heights and Thrushcross Grange is revealed. Years earlier, Mr. Earnshaw, the owner of Wuthering Heights, brings home a dark-skinned, homeless orphan boy from Liverpool. He names the child Heathcliff and raises him alongside his own children, Hindley and Catherine Earnshaw. While Hindley resents Heathcliff and treats him cruelly, Catherine forms a deep, intense bond with him. Catherine and Heathcliff grow up wild and free, roaming the moors together and developing a connection that goes beyond ordinary friendship. Their bond is fierce, passionate, and almost spiritual. Catherine sees Heathcliff as an extension of herself, famously declaring that he is her soul. However, the harmony of childhood is shattered when Mr. Earnshaw dies. Hindley inherits Wuthering Heights and demotes Heathcliff to the status of a servant. This degradation fuels Heathcliff's resentment and plants the seeds of his desire for revenge. One night, Catherine and Heathcliff spy on Thrushcross Grange, the elegant home of the Linton family. When Catherine is injured, she is taken in by the Lintons and stays with them for several weeks. During this time, she is exposed to a more refined lifestyle and becomes conscious of social class and respectability. When Catherine returns to Wuthering Heights, she is transformed, more ladylike and distant. Heathcliff, now painfully aware of his low status, feels alienated. Catherine begins a relationship with Edgar Linton, a gentle and wealthy man who represents comfort, security, and social acceptance. Catherine confides in Nellie that she plans to marry Edgar Linton because it would be socially advantageous. However, she also admits that she loves Heathcliff with a depth that cannot be compared to her feelings for Edgar. She believes that marrying Heathcliff would degrade her, yet she cannot imagine life without him. Heathcliff overhears only part of this conversation and believes Catherine has rejected him entirely. Heartbroken and humiliated, he runs away from Wuthering Heights without explanation. Catherine marries Edgar and moves to Thrushcross Grange, but her marriage lacks the passion she shared with Heathcliff. When Heathcliff returns years later, now wealthy, educated, and hardened, his sole purpose is revenge against those who wronged him. Heathcliff systematically destroys both the Earnshaw and Linton families. He takes advantage of Hindley Earnshaw's alcoholism and gambling addiction, lending him money and eventually gaining control of Wuthering Heights. Heathcliff also manipulates Isabella Linton, Edgar's sister, marrying her solely to hurt Edgar. Isabella soon realizes Heathcliff's cruelty and flees, leaving him further embittered. Catherine, torn between Edgar and Heathcliff, becomes increasingly unstable. The emotional strain leads to illness, hallucinations, and eventual madness. After a final devastating reunion with Heathcliff, Catherine gives birth to a daughter, Catherine Linton, and dies shortly afterward. Heathcliff is consumed by grief and rage, begging Catherine's ghost to haunt him rather than leave him alone. Her death marks the emotional core of the novel and cements Heathcliff's transformation into a figure driven entirely by obsession. The story then shifts to the next generation. Catherine Linton, the daughter of Catherine and Edgar, grows up sheltered and kind. Meanwhile, Hareton Earnshaw, Hindley's son, is raised by Heathcliff in ignorance and abuse, mirroring Heathcliff's own childhood suffering. Heathcliff's revenge extends to the children. He forces Catherine Linton to marry his sickly son, Linton Heathcliff, in order to gain control of Thrushcross Grange. Linton dies shortly after, leaving Catherine widowed and trapped at Wuthering Heights. At this point, Heathcliff has achieved complete dominance over both estates, but his victory brings no peace. His obsession with Catherine Earnshaw continues to haunt him, and he begins to lose interest in worldly revenge. As Heathcliff grows older, his hatred weakens. He becomes increasingly withdrawn, haunted by memories of Catherine and visions of her presence on the moors. Meanwhile, a gentler love begins to develop between Catherine Linton and Hareton Earnshaw. Unlike the destructive passion of their parents, this relationship is built on patience, learning, and mutual respect. Catherine teaches Hareton to read, and he gradually becomes more refined. Their love represents hope and healing, a break from the cycle of cruelty that has dominated Wuthering Heights. Heathcliff eventually loses his will to live, consumed by thoughts of Catherine and longing to be reunited with her in death. He refuses food and sleep and dies alone, seemingly at peace for the first time. After his death, Catherine Linton and Hareton plan to marry and move to Thrushcross Grange, leaving Wuthering Heights behind. The novel ends with a sense of quiet resolution, as the destructive forces that once ruled the moors finally subside. Wuthering Heights explores obsessive love, revenge, class division, nature versus civilization, and the consequences of emotional repression. Emily Brontë presents love not as a civilizing force, but as a raw and dangerous power capable of both transcendence and destruction. The novel also questions morality, challenging readers to sympathize with deeply flawed characters. Heathcliff is neither hero nor villain. He is a product of cruelty, abandonment, and unrestrained passion. Wuthering Heights is a haunting and unforgettable novel that defies traditional storytelling. Through its intense characters and bleak setting, Emily Brontë explores the darkest corners of the human heart. The novel endures because it dares to portray love in its most extreme form, beautiful, terrifying, and eternal. Thank you so much for watching. Your support helps this channel grow. Please like the video, subscribe, and comment your favorite book so I know what to summarize next.